It's right. Welcome to another video, and today I'm doing a speed build, and it's kind of a big one, but it's super modern. And as you may know or may not know, I am not a modern build kind of person. I really like the traditional builds, and I love building in like the Tudor style and just like super like traditional kind of builds. So I don't usually go for the modern style, but I did decide to do it today because I had an idea to take this floor piece from Island Living, and what I did is I used the tool mod to tilt it 90 degrees so that it would face up like a window, and then I tilted it 45 degrees so that it would be on the diagonal. So normally it's just a square on the ground, but I put it up and diagonal. So what I ended up doing is I raised all of them and just to create this kind of like diagonal shape, and that is where the name of the build comes from. I name it Glamorous Geometry because I'm running out of ideas, and you know that I like my alliterations in the titles of the builds, so that is what I end up calling it. And I know the names kind of are getting weird, and I'm going to run out of them at some point, so don't worry, I will start probably naming my builds normal names in the near future. But so I knew I wanted to do this sort of diagonal pieces, and I do that in this front area where the front door is, and then I also do them on the two sides, and I make these big windows, and I take a normal window, I size it up, then I delete the walls behind it, which I've done in other builds, and then I put these diagonals in front of them. So I do end up doing that a little bit later on, but for now I'm just doing the front part. And one thing that I must say is that building modern in the modern style, it's hard at first, but I think the more you do it, the more fun it is, and the more you get used to it. So I can see myself doing this more in the future. I usually stray away from them just because it's not like my strong suit, but I did have a lot of fun doing this, so it is something that I would definitely do in the future. But I know it's not perfect. Like, there are other people who are way more experienced in modern builds, and I know I am not that like tier that some of those builders are at. But let me know like what you thought, if you think I should do more builds like this, or I should just kind of stick to like what I normally do. There's nothing wrong with, you know, doing what I'm comfortable with, but I am on this YouTube channel, I am trying to kind of go for things that I'm not as used to or I'm not as comfortable doing, because I like to see how that turns out, and I have viewers to let me know if I should do it again or not, because it's hard for me to be able to judge my builds just by myself. But if I have other people who can tell me what's good about it and what I need to fix, then I am able to improve, and I like that a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I was so excited about having all this time in quarantine to do a YouTube channel. I know it's only been a few months since I started my channel, but thank you to all my subscribers so far, and I really hope that I get some more people to watch my videos and kind of learn ideas of how to build and stuff. And I know I like watching other YouTubers out there to get ideas and inspiration for builds, so I really hope that other people are benefiting from my videos as well, and kind of learning new tricks or getting inspiration to do builds of their own, because it's so amazing to see what kind of builds that people can make in Sims. It's amazing. And just in the YouTube community and just the gallery and the Twitter community, it's just amazing to see what people can do. And not only are those some media resources that you can use, but you can also use Facebook. So if you have a Facebook, you can go and join a Sims 4 builders or Sims 4 community kind of Facebook groups. And since I've joined those, I've really enjoyed them a lot, because not only I get to post my own builds and see people critiquing them or saying what they like about them or whatever, but I also get to see other people's builds and comment them. And I like being able to compliment other people, because it really motivates them. I know some people, they build and it's one of their first times building, and they're like, I built this house, I don't know how good it looks, but it's so nice to be able to just reassure them and say like, no, for your first build, this is really good. And once you keep practicing, you'll be able to build things even more detailed and intricate. So I really don't think it's too late for anyone to start building, and I definitely encourage you, if you don't have The Sims 4, to get it and just to try it out, because at first I didn't want to start my YouTube channel. I've actually been thinking about it for a few years. So originally I was kind of hesitant about it because I'm like, well, there's so many people out there who can do just such amazing things. I can't compare to that, but it doesn't really matter. Sims isn't a competition except for The Sims Sparked, and I know a lot of people don't like the competition aspect of that anyways, but in general, Sims is just supposed to be fun and a way to kind of express your creativity through building. So I do encourage you to download The Sims if it is something that you like. And I know that The Sims, I think when I first bought The Sims 4 and when it came out in 2014, it was like $70. Like literally, I bought the deluxe version, it was $70. Now I'm pretty sure you can get it for $5. So if you don't have it, it's definitely worth it to get. And you can build without all the packs. As you know, people do base game builds all the time. You don't need all the packs or anything. Like, I don't have any of the stuff packs, and I still enjoy building because basically you don't need a ton of objects. You just need to know how to use the ones that you have. So I don't find the need to buy all these little stuff packs because I'm satisfied with what I have and I can make it work with what I have. And I think that's kind of the fun challenge about doing builds, like base game builds, or not having all the content, because you kind of have to work around that. And I just think that's a lot of fun. So I would, again, recommend you to get The Sims. Just try it out. I mean, no one's perfect the first time they do anything, and that's definitely not a reason to stray away from doing something that you could possibly love. I'm so glad I started this channel, and even though school is starting soon, which is kind of unfortunate because I'm going to have less time to do Sims, I'm excited to get back. I just created this channel to sort of get me through quarantine because I couldn't leave the house, so the only thing I was doing anyways was playing Sims, so I might as well make it productive and do things to put out, make things to put out there that other people would like to see, or would be interested in knowing how to do these kinds of things, or just getting inspiration from what I do. So that is why I ended up doing that, and I am going to try to keep uploading once my classes start, but we'll see how often I can. My goal is to still upload at least once a week. I'm going to try to keep a schedule where I post earlier in the week, like on a Monday or so, and then Thursday or Friday maybe. I'm going to try to stick to that as long as I can, but maybe at the beginning of classes or like before I get settled in, it might be less than that. But who knows? Like sometimes I can like whip out a build in like a day and a half. Like if I'm into it and I spend a lot of time doing it, I can do it super fast. But that really depends on how much free time I have. Like some builds will take me like a week or so because I just have to keep on taking breaks because it's so big and I just don't feel like working on it all the time. But some builds I can just do super fast, and unfortunately once I start classes, I'm not gonna be able to just whip out all these builds because I'm not gonna have like all the free time I want to be able to do them, but I am gonna try to fit in as much time as I can. So I promise, try to make more if you are enjoying them. And I really appreciate everyone who has viewed all my videos so far. I can't talk so far, and complimented me or commented on my builds. It's super inspirational, and I love when people do it now. I more often go to other people's builds on YouTube and comment on them and like them, because before I would only follow like a few people, like really popular simmers, but now that I know what it's like to be kind of in like the smaller YouTuber Sims community, I know what it's like. So I am more inclined to kind of check out other people's channels. So if you do have a small YouTube channel or just any Sims YouTube channel that you want me to check out, just let me know. I would love to check it out, and it kind of just amazes me what other people can do, because like sometimes you build a build and you're proud of it and you think it's cool, you upload it and you're like, hey guys, check this out, and then someone else is like, look what I made, and then they have like a build that's like 10 times as big as yours and super detailed and just amazing, and then I'm like, wow, that just makes me feel bad. And that's kind of how some of the builders that I watch now make me feel, but there's so many out there that I know I don't watch and that are so amazing and just kind of underrepresented, and you don't really see them building as much because, you know, their name isn't out there as much as like, you know, the super popular YouTubers. But I think that all of these simmers deserve to get some views and get some followers out there because they are doing amazing things. And I'm starting to follow a lot of people on Twitter, so if you do have a Sims Twitter, let me know. You can comment it Mine is Ray Sims YT. Pretty simple. It's the same as my gallery ID. But if you have one and you maybe just started it or have been working on it for a while but are just kind of stuck, you want to try to get some more views on your videos or whatever, or you're proud of your work and you don't think you're getting the views or the comments that you deserve, just let me know, because I would love to check it out. And I know from personal experience that it's definitely hard to get a following at first, and I think that it just takes time and practice, because I am by far not the best YouTube video maker. I'm still working on my editing skills and getting the right kind of equipment to film and to record my videos. And I'm also working on, voiceovers and learning how to kind of talk over videos, and I'm learning the webcam screen, and I'm just learning. I didn't even know how to record my laptop screen, and that's why I originally didn't want to do YouTube videos, because I was like, I don't know how to record my screen while I'm playing Sims. It turns out it's way simpler than it seems. I'm just super lazy or something. But yeah, so that's basically all I have to say about the YouTube channel so far, and just a little update about if I'm going to be able to keep doing these videos, which I hope I will. But as you can see, I just talked through this, most of this build of the shell. So I'm going to get into that now. I'm going to finally explain it. So because it's super modern, I'm using the pristine pedestal, which I use in so many builds, not just modern ones. I just think it's so sleek, and being able to kind of position it together to create just this sleek, straight white line is just so amazing. And that's one of my favorite things about modern builds. For me, there's nothing better than just a straight, flat white area that's just clean, pristine. It's super smooth, and there's nothing on it. And that's kind of what I was doing down at the bottom here. I originally was going to leave this space open because I just loved it so much. I don't know why, but I did end up putting a pool there because that seems like an awful lot of space to waste, and that kind of seemed like a bummer to do that. So I did end up putting a pool there. And not only is there a pool in the front, but there's also a pool in the back. It's kind of right when you first walk into the house, which is an awkward spot, but I wanted to put it close to the windows in the back, because what I do is I size up these triangular little windows from City Living, and I size 2 of them up, and then I delete the walls behind them to kind of create this big area, open area out on the deck and whatever. So I do that, and I kind of put a pool back there, and it's smaller, but it's still it's more indoor, it's covered. So your Sims have plenty of places to swim if they would like to. Also, they have plenty of places to do anything in this house. I think I didn't even count the bedrooms and bathrooms. But it's more than 9. I know it is, because in the gallery, the max you can put is 9 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms, but it's definitely more than that. I counted and I was like, it's more than 9, that's all I need to know. But I'm pretty sure it could be up to 11 or 12. I'm not sure. Maybe even more. Honestly, it was too many to count. I just didn't want to do it. But so these windows that I put in, the City Living ones that I was talking about, have those sort of diagonal crossings that that kind of look like the ones that I was making in the front, the ones that I was sort of making myself. And I didn't find them until a little bit into the build, so I didn't use them for a lot of parts of it. But I did find it, and I was like, wow, I forgot these existed. And then I was like, well, I have to put it in, right? Because it kind of fits the aesthetic, it fits the whole diagonal theme. So I had to put it in. At first I didn't want to. I was kind of hesitant to, because it's the blue glass, and I know a lot of people don't like the blue glass because it just doesn't match, and I really wish that this did come with a clear background, but I was like, nope, I'm not gonna let it scare me away. I'm going to use this. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna work with it. And that's one of the fun things that I like about The Sims. You just have to kind of take what you get and work with it. So that's what I did. I think it ended up looking pretty good, because to be honest, this build needed color. It was very black, white. Personally, when I think modern, I think monotoned black and white, but I know that that's not every modern build. So I think next time I do a modern build, I'm going to try to add some color. There is one modern build on my gallery. I only built half of it, and then I gave up. I just did the shell. But it's like brown and white and gray, and then some of this blue because I use these windows too. But I am going to try to use some more colors in modern builds because I know that, you know, modern builds don't just have to be like black and white and gray, like they can be colorful. So that is my goal for next time if I do end up doing another modern build, which I hope I will because I did have a lot of fun with this. It's just kind of, there's just something so satisfying about like having a sleek build, just super clean and just looks really, really unique and just one of a kind, and I really liked that. And then on the sides here, that's kind of what I did over. I didn't know what to put on these walls, so I was like, hey, why not just make it like a giant cube of glass? So that is what I end up doing for the sides, the two sides there. But I did struggle a little bit with the coloring because I didn't know where I wanted the white to be and the black and like the gray, and I did end up changing a lot of that around, so I did cut it out. But sometimes I'll be like, wait, the white should be here and the black should be here, but then I do end up like changing it because sometimes I want to, like, I've talked about this before, but I want to kind of like distribute the colors, so I don't want like just this part to be black and just this part to be white and just this part to be gray. I want it to kind of like flow throughout so that every color is kind of distributed throughout the whole build. So that is what I tried to work with here. And I have like a pet peeve. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm having a black section here, it cannot be next to a black section there. So it kind of is hard, especially in black and white, to figure out what's going to go next to what. So I did end up adding the gray. I was hesitant at first. I was like, well, it's not as much of a contrast, but I think it did end up working out because, like I said, the colors, two colors don't have to be next to each other. And I know that's like the most perfectionistic thing for anyone to say ever, but I am a perfectionist, so that definitely makes sense. I spent a lot of time on these pristine pedestals over here, placing them into the ground. I use the tool mod because, as you know, when you place objects on a slope, they'll sometimes clip to the higher part, so I wanted them all to be lower. And I spent a lot of time doing that and making them lower to the same level because some of them were higher than others based on where they were on the slope. So cutting those out cutting them into the terrain, that took a long time. So I did end up cutting out the video. I hope you're okay with that, but it was way too much for me. I actually spent way more time than I would like to admit doing that. That's probably what took me the longest, this whole front area, but I think it was worth it. I just love a grand entrance area. Like, not only is this build super big and just like pops out at you, but you have like this whole walkway leading up to it, so it's like, okay, it's gotta be good. Like, it's gotta be like super long and just colorful. And I wanted to put the glass, the island living glass pieces in the bridge that crosses over the kind of open area pool in the front, but it wasn't working because something was wrong. You'll see me struggle with it a little bit. I cut out some of it because it was really irritating and it took me a long time, but it was kind of like, I didn't know what was happening. It, like, the foundation piece would like disappear and I like couldn't place things on top of it, so that's why I didn't end up like furnishing a lot of that front area there. But it was super weird. I don't know why it was like that. Things like that have happened to me before when I have like a wide open area of foundation and I don't have like anything underneath it, like foundation wise or like wall or room wise. But it was really not working with me, and I actually ended up having to exit the game a few times. I like restarted my computer. I like came back to it on a different day. It was kind of a struggle, but I did end up getting it to work as best as I could. So I hope it turns out okay for you, for your liking. And now I'm just doing the plants. I end up going with sort of tropical plants here. I use a lot of jungle adventure plants because just in this area, the Del Sol Valley area, there's just a lot of palm trees because it's modeled after Hollywood and it's super warm there. So I did try to kind of keep that vibe going. I didn't want to put too many flowers in because I felt like flowers wouldn't really fit this. I'd want it to be super like solid colors, like this color and that color. So I do end up limiting the flowers just to the back, and then I add like a bunch of cute little like flower bushes just to kind of decorate. I'm adding them right here. And I think that just adds detail, and I hope that it fit in the surroundings. I always try to make the plants fit into their surroundings, and I know that these don't exactly match the base game palm trees that are surrounding this lot. So um, hopefully it's to your liking. I know it's a super like kind of out there color of green that these like that jungle adventure palm tree comes in, and kind of these leafy plants as well, and especially that succulent plant from what is it, Cats and Dogs? Yeah, I think Cats and Dogs. Those come in the super bright colors and like crazy colors that you would not think natural plants would have. So I did try to pick the most matchy color and the most realistic looking color. Because I couldn't really place any like kind of real flower bed on top of these pristine pedestals, I placed a flower bed object and I raised it up so you can see the brown underneath, so I didn't have to do any terrain painting, and I was able to do that on top of the pedestals, which was like really nice, and I'm really glad I could do that. I did it in my last modern build, so I was like, wait, I know what to do, and I know how to make these pedestals more decorative, because if it's just white, like, I know it's nice to see like a bunch of white, but too much white is too much. You need to have like some detail in there to make the build look interesting, and to have detail and something for the eye to catch, or to catch the eye. So I did end up trying to put a few plants in, not as many as I normally would, but I did want to, not just leave this as like this stark black, white, and gray building that looks industrial. I wanted to, be a house, be welcoming. So that's why I ended up doing that. And with the doorway pieces here, I ended up using this wall decoration that comes with Get Famous. I love it so much. I used it on the back outside. I think I cut it out, but you will see it later in the screenshots, and possibly when I'm building. I have some of those slatted decorations on the windows. So I thought that was going to be like a general trend throughout the whole build, and it did end up being like kind of a thing that I used throughout the build. And I love common themes and just having things be like kind of consistent. I love consistency. I'm a perfectionist, so I was living for that. I really was. And as you know, I'm a symmetrical builder. I really was trying to do a modern build that wasn't symmetrical like my last one, because it looks so interesting, like, because it's crazy and it's out there, and nothing is the same. But I went back to my symmetrical ways because it was too what's the word? It was too like intriguing. It lured me in. It was like, make me symmetrical. So I had to make it symmetrical because that's just what I always go for. So I apologize if I'm making too many symmetrical builds lately, but honestly, like, that's the best that like I can make my builds. Like, I can do the best when they're symmetrical, and I did not want to mess this build up. I wanted to be as good as I can make it, so I made it symmetrical. But in the future, I'm going to challenge myself to not make as many symmetrical builds. I promise. And if I don't live up to it, then I have viewers to call me out on it. But I'm saying it now. I'm going to challenge myself more, not just by building different styles, but by building in different ways. All right, that being said, now I'm doing the kitchen. Even though this house is symmetrical, I did decorate it in asymmetrical ways. Obviously, you don't want two kitchens, one on each side. So I have this first half, it's the kitchen, dining, bar half of the house. Then on the other side, it's mostly living. There's a what's it called? A library, an office, and a room, a TV, and what's the word? Fireplace room. And there's a lot of open space, like a lot of space. So I did end up kind of repeating objects. Like, I have these cute little bars here, but then I also put them out in the center area. So it does end up being a lot, but I mean, if you want to get rid of them, delete them, put in something else that your Sims would actually use, not just a repeat object, then go for it. But sometimes when I'm just doing builds, I'm like, I'm not building these for specific Sims that I'm playing, so I'm just gonna leave it kind of as generic as possible, so that you can change it to your liking if you'd want to. But there are two things in the basement that are kind of Sim specific. I just thought it kind of fit with the whole like modern fancy house, Del Sol Valley Get Famous vibe. And it's downstairs there are two rooms and they're symmetrical, so I wanted to make them kind of similarly themed. So I end up having a like recording studio room, and then like a kind of, I guess, like YouTuber slash media influencer room, and they both have like waiting rooms in them because I just had so much extra space. So they each have like symmetrical waiting rooms, and then from there it leads into both of like the actual rooms. And I just thought that was kind of fun, and like if your Sims want to work from home, they can, like if that's their jobs or whatever. But I just thought it was kind of fun. I don't really make rooms like that often, especially because I normally don't furnish a lot of the build. I just do like the main parts, and then I leave a lot of the space empty. But I really like this build, so I wanted to kind of create this space that I want to fill the space with things that I would imagine would be there. So I had a lot of fun with that. And those would be the Sims I imagine in them. If they're not, if you want your Sims to live here and that's not what your Sims like to do, or like whatever, you can always get rid of them. I just thought it was kind of cute. And even if your Sims don't do that, you definitely have other space to add other things. So like that room, it was just extra. Like there's so much empty space that I still left here. Like, what did I say? Like 12 something bedrooms and bathrooms, and I left two rooms off to the side on this level empty, and then I also left two rooms downstairs empty, and those are not bedrooms because they don't have an ensuite. You could use them as a bedroom, but I count like bedrooms as like kind of rooms with ensuites in this build, just because there's so many rooms. Like I don't know what I would count as bedroom and what I wouldn't, and a lot of them have closets and stuff. So anyways, I'm done with that run on about what I call a bedroom and what I don't. But as you can see, there's this super open area here. That's where I'm going to put the bar and just another family room, kind of living room area. And as you know, it's a lot of open space. So there are repeat objects, a lot of couches, a lot of chairs. If your Sims had a party, there would be no crowding. Like I know that when you have a small house and then you have an event, especially in The Sims 3, because I don't think there was like a limit to people. I know there's a limit now in The Sims 4 to how many people you can invite to your party, but in The Sims 3, like when you would have a party and then people would come over and they would get so crowded. I just remember not being able to use the stairs because everyone was just standing there in a clump and none of them could get down the stairs. So irritating. But the goal is that is not going to happen, especially in The Sims 4 with the invitation limits, but also because this is a big house. There are two sets of staircases for every level because I made it symmetrical. As you can see, I didn't show the part where I put those like that octagonal coffee table and then those 4 chairs around it, because I do end up deleting them to put in the staircases because I realized, oh no, I forgot a space for the Sims to go downstairs. So I use that for just big kind of staircases, and then I just use that area to go downstairs. And in the downstairs, there's also another living area, and the upstairs and the stairs upstairs above that, I guess the second and third level, or third and fourth in total. Those are just kind of like sitting areas. I don't have like TVs or anything, but it is just like kind of decorative. But like, you know, your Sims like would have no problem finding seating in this house. When in doubt, add seating. I either add seating or I add a side table or I add a plant. So basically, that's just a little tip. If you have like a little corner that you don't know what to do with, you should add some sort of decorative object just to make it seem less, you know, empty. And that's definitely what I do with my builds. I always try to like kind of fill every room that I am doing. Like if I do want to furnish a room, I do it like all out, you know, so that I'm not gonna like half-ass anything. I know I've talked about this before, but like I don't want to do a like half furnished build. Like I'm either doing like furnishing this room or I'm not, because it just feels like I kind of didn't try if it's like half filled. So that's why like this house is very like one or the other. Like there is no in between. I found a bunch of cute objects from the show hidden objects cheat, and like just a bunch of like trophies, and I thought that was kind of cute because like to show that these people are like really successful, and that's like why they had this house. And just like a bunch of sort of decorative objects that they might need for their jobs down here. And then I am about to create the waiting area. And I thought it was so cute because I was like, wow, it's like low key like an office building in here, even though it's in like a house, but it's a mansion. So I thought that was fun. Um, there was just so much space. Like, honestly, there was so much space. So I do use these sort of fish tanks from Spa Day, and then I place shelves above them to add some more, awards and decorative objects. And in the influencers room, I decorate it with these awards and plants. And in the other room, I end up using like a bunch of different stereos, which I really hope doesn't create a bunch of noise because I'm like, I don't know about you, but when I would play The Sims and people would visit my house, they would start playing the music and it would be so annoying, especially if you had the sound on in the game. So I can kind of just imagine like random Sims coming in here and turning on like 20 different types of music. So I'm really sorry if that happens, just delete them all. But I just thought it was kind of cute because it kind of fit like the music sound theme. So I decorate the room with just a bunch of those and with some sort of like tchotchkes, I guess you would call them, just like with little vases and stuff and just like random decorative objects. And you'll see me put them up now. Just looking at it, it kind of does look terrible. Like it looks crazy. But I did not know what else to put. I didn't want to do more of the trophies because I already had enough. I used a bunch of the Get Famous ones. Oh, I do use more. Of course I do. Hopefully that's it though. But yeah, I used some like vases too because I didn't want to just do like a bunch of trophies. Like too many. Like we get it. You're successful. And then I decided I didn't want this whole build to be boring. So I change this up and I make it purple and I make the actual music studio room match it with the purple walls. And then I want to change this one. And I'm like, no, don't change it. There's no color that would look good. So that is what I ended up doing for those two rooms. And then these two rooms I leave empty, like I was talking about before. And then I was running out of like black and white decorative wall objects. So what I ended up doing is I just used more of the show hidden objects, underwater pictures from Island Living to create kind of just some detail on the walls here. And I know that in the actual like footage that I have here, I don't put anything above the fireplace, which is like honestly a pet peeve of mine. Like you're gonna put something above the wall, like right? You kind of need something there just for decoration and for interest. I don't put it in the footage, but I do come back to it later. I realize I have nothing there and I do put mirrors there. So don't worry, because right now I'd be super worried. I'd be like, wait, the mirrors are, there's nothing there. There are no mirrors. There's no painting, nothing. So I do end up putting it, I promise. So these are the kind of sitting areas upstairs that I was talking about. Didn't know what to do with this space. So I put some decorative objects. I put some wall, side tables, some paintings, mirrors, of course, and then just some of these little chairs. And because I had to delete them from the first level to put the staircases leading downstairs there, I was able to add them here. And I liked that because they're not just like black and white. They also have like a pattern. And I love that because it's not just like stark and monotone and boring. It's kind of brings some interest to the build. And I use these Get Famous rugs once again because they're super detailed, and those and the city living rugs I love so much. They have a bunch of like black and white swatches that aren't just boring. They're like actual patterns, and they kind of make a build more interesting. And I know I usually don't furnish all the bedrooms or bathrooms. Sometimes I do the bathrooms, and this is one of the times where I did end up furnishing all the bathrooms because I couldn't quite figure out where I wanted them to be. So I always place the walls for the bathrooms anyways, even when I don't furnish it. And I just thought it'd be easier to furnish the bathrooms just to make sure the layout of the bathrooms actually worked. And I already did it for you if you don't want to do it, so you're welcome. I just kind of made them all the same kind of thing with like the same toilet, sink, shower, just whatever could fit really. Some of them have like a bathtub and a shower, or like a whole like section shower area with like the wall shower that came from Discovery University. But I do all of them, and there's a ton. I don't remember how many, but there was a lot. So if you don't like doing bathrooms, then definitely download this house. But if you don't like doing bedrooms, I'm sorry, I cannot help you there because neither do I. But now I'm just doing this front area here. using some more of those sidewall or side, what are they called? Uh, end tables, side decorations. Again, the marble ones, of course. Um, and then I just add some decorations from spa day, just to add some like little towels and like ointment, whatever it's called, like lotions and whatever. Just like the little what's it called? Like the little tray with them on it, just for like decoration. And then I add these cute little what's it called? Like sprinklers, like yeah, from spa day. I'm just forgetting words today. And as you can see, I can't place that table down there, so I do have to place it up here, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Um, and then in the fountain, that's what it's called, like the sprinklers in the fountain. And that the big piece, the big circle one that I sized up, I had to place an actual fountain like in it, like one of the ones that that come with the base game that you can use to decorate your own fountain and to make your own, because once I size it up, the little water thing that comes out of it doesn't move up with it, it just stays there. So I had to like place one in there, so it has like kind of a dome thing coming out of it. And I think that's actually really nice idea that I had, like maybe for once, to put that in there, because you can't always have the fountain sprinkler the size that you want if you size it up or down. But anyways, so I'm done with that. I'm done with my rambling. So now we're just at the screenshots, and you can kind of see like what the house looks like from the inside. And I love looking at it from this angle because you can really see it like from its point of view. It's hard because it's different looking at it like from when you're building it to when you're looking at it like here, because now you can see like the ceiling and like how all the rooms kind of like work together. So I just thought that was kind of fun. Now here's the music studio, and then the waiting room for the influencer studio. And I just put those like giant TVs there, so that, I don't know, it seems like they're doing something kind of special. I don't know, they have important things to be doing. But let me know if you like this video. If you like me doing modern builds, I can do some more. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can get this off the gallery, Ray Sims YT. Check out my other videos. I also have my modern build, my other modern build that I did, my only other one. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.